Hello all, welcome to NetSet OS. Let's discuss what today's agenda is. So firstly, we'll be discussing about what if we don't upload images or if it does not take the path. Instead of showing the error, how it will handle that. Then secondly, we will be discussing about Django session with its practical usage. And thirdly, we will be coming about how to customize session. So what you're waiting for? Let's get started. In the last video, we have seen such page. Now what if I don't find this image, or rather if I give the wrong path, or I can say it doesn't find the path. So here avoiding if it does not detect the image path, instead of showing error on the page, it should show no image. We'll go to PyCharm. In PyCharm, we'll be opening detail.html. Here in detail.html, it is inside application, online shop, inside templates, we have product where it contains detail.html and list.html. So in list.html, we have already filled. Now in detail.html, first of all, I'll delete this and I'll be uploading first two commands where it is extending base.html and then we'll be loading static files. Now after this, first we'll be going for block title. Here I'll write block space title, and at the same time I'll be putting end block, and inside this block I'll be giving product name, product.name. Now after block title, we'll be writing block content. So I'll paste here and instead of title, I'll write block content, and at the same time, I'll be doing end block. Now inside this block content, we'll be giving few commands. So let's take it first in div class, where we'll be having product detail, and in product detail we'll be giving image source, where we'll be telling if product image is not there, then it should display no image.png. So I'll be writing percentile if product.image. Here it should have URL of product.image, else we'll be giving static file which will be inside image with the name no underscore image.png. So here you can see inside static we have CSS folder and image folder. So in this image folder I'll be uploading no underscore image in the PNG form. So let's close this. And here I'll be giving and if, closing this tag. Then I want to give product.name. Let's keep it in h1 tag. Then coming to ahref product.category.get absolute URL. And here we'll be taking product.category. Let's make it highlighted. So we'll be giving it in h2 tag. Let's give here h2 tag, and this is the closing tag. We'll give it outside a tag. Now after this, define p class for price, and here we'll be taking in rupees. So I'll write product.price. And after that we'll have product.description. Let's keep here line breaks. So here we have detail.html ready, where we called get absolute URL. This is a method on the related category object. It displays the available product that belongs to the same category. Now here, after this, I'll be going to the other tab and will be downloading this particular image. So here I have image. I'll be copying from here, going to the project, application. We have a folder static. I'll be copying this, but it is with the name download. So I need to change this name into no underscore image. Here it's with the same name. Let's check it out. Here we have this image. I'll just rerun the server. Here it will be showing the same photos as it is able to detect it. Now what I'll do, I'll be going to the admin. I'll be going to products for ad. Let's give the name Chalks Pastry. Here I won't be giving the image. And let's fix the price as 45 rupees is quite enough, right? So I'll be saving over here, and let's verify whether it is now working or not. Here it's not giving the image of Chalks Pastry. Let's verify. We'll go to PyCharm. Here it's taking no image.png. Let's go to the list.image, and here we have image.png. Let's make the same, no image.png. Let's save it. Go to the server, Control C, run the server again, and now I'll be restarting the website, and here you can see there is no image available. As earlier in list.html, I haven't given the correct path. I was just asking for image. Here I'll be giving the path of no image.png. So here, if I don't give the particular path, or if I miss out the images, instead of showing the error, it will be just giving the no images available. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the pastries admin, and here in products, I'll be deleting this phyllo, delete, save. Let's see how it works. Now here it is asking for yes, I am sure. I have to save here, and here I have just 3 images. So here I have deleted phyllo, and here we have Chalks Pastry, Flaky and Short Crust. I haven't uploaded images for this, so it has taken no images available by itself. Now going further, let's understand what are Django sessions. Now comes Django sessions. So basically Django provides a session framework which supports user sessions, and it allows you to store data for each visitor. Let's have a pictorial representation. Let's take a social website on Facebook, where at the time of entering here, we need to give username and password, right? So whenever we give username and password, it will be going to the database. As let's take this as client. Now this username and password will be given to the database, or I can say whatever username and password I am giving over here, it will request and will look into the database whether they are correct or not, and on the basis of their response will be able to log in. So to use session, we have to make sure that in settings, I'll open the setting. Here you can see in middleware there will be django.contrib.sessions middleware session middleware. Here this comes by default when we make the project. So it comes just by the command start project. So session middleware makes the current session available in the request object. So here when we give the request, there will be a small box of session. Or I can give you a practical example. When I open YouTube, I'll be listening this song. Up till here, this song is played and it is on 1 minute 12 seconds. Now due to something, I'll close this. And when I again open YouTube and will play the same song, it will be played from that minute only. As when I close this YouTube, it was stored in my cache and it opens when I reopen again. Or we have so many sites. Let's say we have so many sites giving us the courses. So there we complete, let's say, till 10%. So it highlights that 10% of course has been completed in this website. Now you need to cover the other 90%. So this comes out to be with the help of session. So here when we have this session, it's like accessing the current session using request.session. As here the session object is stored in request. Now you can set a variable in the session like request.session for username, your username, then request.session for password, your password will be stored there. So here the session dictionary accepts any Python object by default which is serialized to JSON. Now if you want to delete any of the session, you can simply write del request.session and that particular key, let's say username, and make sure here it is server, where it can be in the form of database, file based, cache database session, cookies based session. So Django offers for storing session data in the following ways. Let's see it one by one. Here the first is database session, where session data is stored in the form of database, and by default session always takes the database session. Like the site Make My Trip or any banking site, let's say ICICI site, there only database are used in this session, because if we are doing any transaction, that is need to be structured first and is to be highlighted on the spot. Now the other one is file based session. Here instead of database, file system will be used. Then comes cache sessions. Here the data is stored in cache backend like Redis cache. In cache session, their request is not supposed to go in the server itself. Like your client is in India, right? And your server is in US. So instead of going to the US server, here there will be a cache. Let's say if it is Redis, here the data will be stored in dictionary form, which is giving high performance as compared to database session. But database is more secure. And here you can specify cache backend using caches setting. Storing session data in a cache system provides the best performance. Now coming to cache database session data is stored in write through cache and database. This we can understand in terms of, let's say there is a client and here we have server. Now what happens? Here it makes a cache in the form of dictionary, right? Now it has a few limit. Let's say there is a limit of 20. Now I am giving the username and password such that it is not here. So it completely works on, I have a complete video on LRU. You can reach out to that video. I'll give the link in the description below. So if it is not there, it will be deleting the last one and will be finding that username and password from the server. And when I give the next time username and password, it will be giving the request in the less time when we go for cache database. Then comes cookie based session. Session data is stored in the cookies. As here in the client itself, when we open our browser, it takes the small space in the form of cookies. Like when you enter a unknown website, right? There it first asks, should I add cookies to your website? Because it won't be adding information in their server. Instead, they'll be taking the cookies in your browser itself, so that when you open in the next time, it will be taking less time and will be opening then and there using cookies session. So these are the types of session data which Django offers. Now how we can customize sessions? Like when we have session cookie age, here we can set the time period, the duration that cookie can be saved. By default it's 2 weeks and they are given in seconds. That completely depends on you to refresh it within a week, within a day. Then the second comes session cookie domain. Here we can set it to be mydomain.com to enable cross domain cookies, or use none for a standard domain cookie. Then comes session cookie secure. This is in Boolean, either true or false, indicating that cookie should only be sent if the connection is an HTTPS connection. If it is HTTPS, then only it will be secured. Now the next one is session expire at browser close. This is very important in terms of when we are using bank website. So these kind of website also provides us the facility that whenever I close the browser, it will get expire and I need to give my credentials every time when I'll be opening the browser again. So here I need to set it a Boolean, either it can be true or false, that the session has to expire or not when we close the browser. Now comes session save every request. Here it is totally dependent, like if I'm doing any transaction in banks that are supposed to be saved, that is, if I'm doing the transaction of 5,000 rupees, that is supposed to be highlighted in my transaction history then and there. So Django provides such a facility where sessions save every request. Now if I go to the official website, the Django project documents, let's check for sessions. Here in settings, I'll be going to sessions. You can find here session cache alias, session cookies age, session cookie domain, session cookie HTTP only, cookie name, cookie path. So basically we can make use of sessions as per this. So hopefully my video is useful to you. If you find it useful, do like my video and please share with your friends. Now in the next video, we'll be seeing how to store shopping carts in our session practically. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.